So today we're gonna be making a song just like any other video. But here's the kicker. For this song, I'm gonna be using stock Logic plugins only. And the reason for this, I've been teasing it on the channel for a while, but my huge mega preset pack, the producer palette, is finally coming out this Friday as I'm recording this. I've also been getting asked a lot to make a song in the style of like Tame Impala, Mac DeMarco, sort of that psychedelic indie genre and style. So let's get two birds stoned and make that song, but only using presets from the producer palette. If you want to be notified for the release, the link is in the description to join the waitlist. But let's go ahead and make a song. So first thing to do, obviously, is to set the mood. This is the last of my favorite incense, but I think I'm gonna end up starting with bass. There is a bass riff that has been in my head all morning that I think would be a really good starting point. So for the bass, I'm gonna start out with this WTF bass preset here. And the riff that's been in my head all morning is this. That's all I have. I want to kind of expand on that a little bit. Yeah, I think that feels pretty strong. And I'm gonna go ahead and load up a drum preset here just so I can play something in the background and keep my timing as I structure this out. I built this drum preset, it's called the Kevin kit. Obviously I wanted something sort of Tame Impala inspired. Did you guys know that Tame Impala is just one guy, by the way? And just one slight adjustment. I think I'm gonna swap out this kick drum. So I want something a little more punchy here. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I think that's definitely the better vibe for this. Maybe we do like a short intro, and why don't we go right into a verse? And then maybe we do a pre-chorus and then a chorus. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And I think I want to be careful with how like structured I'm making this, because my normal process is to be very structured and being very intentional about where I'm going with the song. Because I used to have a really bad habit of getting stuck in 8-bar loops. And the way I beat that habit is just by writing out as much of the song as possible first. So this can be seen as very formulaic, which I totally get that perspective. I'm not gonna argue against that. So I wanna be careful and just let this be a little more expressive, because I think that's what makes the genre so great. All right, so maybe after the second chorus, we have kind of like this ethereal break. Like I'm thinking with the drums. I want to do something weird because like naturally my comfort is wanting to stick with the I want to take it somewhere else, somewhere a little uncomfortable and unpredictable. I think I got it. Maybe we have like this whole little outro, and then end it with like a soft outro. Let's just try that to start with. I think we have a pretty solid structure there. I am going to get a refill on some more coffee, and then we will start building out the production here. All right, I got my coffee. I want to get these drums a little bit grittier. All right, so First, I need to start with an intro. I think in my head, I wanted to do sort of like a, just something like that. The squeeze might be a little too much. I'm wanting more distortion than like a massive, super slammed, like that. Yep, okay. For the solo part, I think I want to open it up a little to the ride. All right, so I think drums are done, at least the main bulk of it. I'm gonna go ahead and make a new bass channel and then just really focus on the performance and get a much tighter version of this instead of just, you know, copy and paste stuff. Okay, so I think I got my general bass down. Something I'm gonna do, and this isn't exactly important right now, but in the producer palette, there's a preset called Layer This Under Bass. And this is pretty much just like, you know, a huge high cut to really focus on the bass frequencies. Obviously, you may have to adjust this to taste. You don't wanna like, you know, overstack low frequencies. So I'm really just gonna use this preset sort of in the choruses. And this is what it sounds like without the added layer. And then with. If you're not listening on headphones or studio monitors, you're probably not gonna hear the difference, but it's just adding more low end support. I'm actually gonna transpose this bass down an octave. And just give it a really deep octave that isn't really standing out per se. We'll do the same thing again for this other chorus. All right, cool. I think we're good on bass. I think I'm gonna move on to guitars now and just sort of start to layer that bass. I'm gonna use this crunch cassette preset, which doesn't really crunch out until you really dig into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just load it up with much more drive. And actually, you know what? I'm not gonna use a guitar. I'm gonna triple track it with bass just to, I don't know, just give it a much deeper impact. I am gonna take a little more lows out though, because I don't wanna just keep stacking bass frequencies on top of bass frequencies, you know? Cool, so I think we're good there. Now I think I'm gonna move on to synths and just sort of build a little more of the environment around it. Just because right now I'm kind of having a hard time hearing more electric guitars in this. I wanna start painting the way with synths and then add more electric guitars after that. I also have this loop in here, and yeah, I'm including loops in the producer palette as well, but this 120 garbage indie. I'm thinking it could kind of be a cool background texture to throw in there. Let's just clean it up with EQ. Oh yeah, that's kind of cool. Let's distort that a little more. Might be too distracting in the beginning, but I think during like the intro and maybe the choruses, it could sound cool. I just went non-verbal for a few minutes. I turned this intro into like a lo-fi bass. I have this weird garbage loop, and then I kind of just lo-fied up the drum overhead here. So this is what the intro sounds like now. All right, so let's go in here now and find a synth. Let's start with the warmest synth. What does that sound like in here? And by the way, for those of you curious how to install these presets or how to use them, you can literally just take them and drag them in there. Keep in mind, you do have to have all available sounds downloaded in Logic, but I assure you, everything should work as long as you have everything installed, as long as you have the newest version of Logic, or at least 11.1 and higher, and it should work fine for you. I'm just gonna lay down this sort of higher pad just to really ground everything together. And I'm gonna add some tape delay to that just to kind of modulate a little the chords that are just ringing out. I think I want to add some kind of melody in there too. What Shy Little Guy sound like? And let's add another tape delay on that to really just drift it out. That's kind of cool. Maybe it's like the second half of that. Like right here. I think I'm gonna add a phaser to this as well. Yeah. And then I think I'm gonna try to incorporate this crazy atmosphere ARP and just combine it with the silly little guy here. I love the names that I picked for these things. And I think for this too, I mean, I don't want to get too far into automation, but I think it would be cool to automate the cutoff on that crazy ARP synth. Yeah, like that. So it evolves as it goes on. I still feel like I need one more distinct like bow, bow, type synth to put in there. Maybe this lost landscape, but let's make it a little brighter. Let's try that out. Yeah. All right, I need to track the melody that I'm singing here real quick. That feels Tame Impala-esque, no? I suck at piano. I need to get better. I just don't practice. I think I want some kind of like other accent that goes along with that melody. Let's see what this PS1 synth sounds like. It might not fit the vibe. I just took the bit crusher off. I think it was a little too much for this. And then I'm gonna add one more pad just to fill some of the deeper space. Yeah. You know, the silly little guy isn't sounding right. Yeah, let's try that instead. All right, I sort of went into La La Land there and just got really distracted by just making sounds, which I guess is good, right? Sounds like the preset pack is pretty good if it just kind of gets you lost in your productions. But yeah, I want to build up this breakdown part here now. All right, I want to add some kind of like, I don't know, just some kind of texture in there. What if we added an 808? All right, and I think now I'm gonna move back to guitars and just really focus on this last part because production-wise, I think we're pretty close to done actually. Like it feels fairly full. So let's do these guitars and then vocals and then we'll be finished. All right, and I'm gonna do the solo now. I'm gonna switch guitars for that. But let's just wing it. Let's see what we can do. All right, so now we're going to move on to the bane of my existence, which is vocals.
Sup, it's Editing Trevor here. As you know, OBS stopped recording Logic audio, and when it got time for the vocals, it made for a really awkward and uncomfortable experience because it was just my vocal coming through the lav mic, like there wasn't any, effects or context to the track. So hope you don't mind. I'm just going to interject in this part and just walk through the vocals. Really messing up my flow here, but hope you forgive me. All right, so for starters, none of these vocal tracks are labeled. For these, I used this preset called the Space Squeeze vocals, and I ended up just changing some of the timing with the delay. I added a chroma glow at the beginning just to really thicken and dirty it up a little bit. And then I adjusted the Space Designer to kind of have a higher mid-range focus. And this is what the vocals sounds like. My best Kevin Parker impression there. But on its own, like if we listen to this, just with the music, feels a little flat. So one of my favorite vocal tricks is to have a centered, like really wet vocal, and then take two dry vocals. And then stack them outside. So these are the dry vocals. I think I've been inside this place before. It keeps my feet glued to the floor. And then when you add those on to these main vocals, it all sounds like this. I think I've been inside this place before. It keeps my feet glued to the floor. I can't lie. Just really thickens it up, makes it more full. But yeah, I pretty much did the same thing for the verse vocals, for the pre-chorus vocals, and even the chorus vocals, which the chorus vocals all together sound like this. I think I'm starting to lose. I think I'm starting to lose. Which the makeup of that is this center vocal here. Which again, on its own, if we get rid of these other vocals, wimpy. It's got nothing to stand on. But when we add all these other thickeners, and then I basically also took, the clean vocals and I threw a really light flanger on there. And those vocals sound like this. I think I'm starting to lose. And that flanger just adds some modulation to it, makes things a little more interesting and not perfect. Oh, here's something else I did too. I really like the lose thing. So I recorded me just saying lose like this. Just lose. And then I repeated it a whole bunch during this breakdown part. But I threw on an EQ and I automated the high frequency cutoff and I rolled off a ton of the low end. And it sounds like this. And in context, yeah, just super gnarly. And the only other thing I did, I added these vocals here at the end. Nothing special, just a lot of layering. I don't want to give too much of it away because we're about to listen to the final result. But yeah, sorry that some parts of the video kind of got botched a little bit. I know it takes the fun out, takes it out of the moment. Trust me, I'm the one who has to edit it. I don't want to have to sit through that. So let's just pretend like you saw me in the process of recording vocals and it went just as good as you want to believe it went. But let's get back to the video.
So really the only major thing that I did with this is I sent the drums bass, guitar, synths, and vocals all to separate buses and just compress them a little just to squeeze it. But I changed the vary speed, which if you're unfamiliar with vary speed, it replicates what happens when a tape machine is sped up. So it changes the speed and the pitch. But I brought that up by 4% just to add a new kind of character to it. But this is the final result. Let's take a listen to Lose. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty sick. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked with how this turned out, I'm not gonna lie. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, every single preset that I used in this is gonna be available in the producer palette that comes out this Friday. I think I'm doing a discount too. Am I doing 40 or 30% off? 40% off. I'm doing 40% off the first week that this preset pack is out. And again, it's like 260 presets, project templates, loops. It's got it all, baby. So if you wanna jump on the wait list, again, link is in the description. Again, hope that you enjoyed watching this. If you did, I hope you consider subscribing, and I'll see you around in the next video. Peace.